That's how Cowboy fans do it. All the Can Maniacs out there. How about them Cowboys? We walked what I'm calling a Dallas Cowboys corridor. As you can tell, we are at a Cowboys home game. Yes, I understand that we are in Los Angeles, Inglewood, technically SoFi Stadium, but this is basically AT&T West. So follow me this way. We're gonna see if we can find a couple of fans. We are infiltrating enemy territory. The Cowboy fans are doing it right. We got the signage, we got the great food, we got the inflatables. Thoughts on today's game?
We're gonna beat the shit out of them.
Woo! You see this right here? How do you feel about today's game?
We better win, that's all I know.
How do you feel about Dak Prescott after last week's performance?
Dak Prescott has been very consistent with the division. He has took us back-to-back 12-5 seasons. You know what I mean? He has winning records above. You can say what you want about the past 7 years, but on our division, he has been owning it for years.
Are you a Dak rider or are you a Dak hater?
Before he broke his finger, I was a rider. Now, nah. They need to let him go now.
You know Dak Prescott's watching this right now, right? Actually follows the Can Fan podcast.
Look.
Go!
Let's go, baby! Cowboys Nation, son! Let's go! Cowboys Nation represent! Cowboys Nation represent! Let's go!
Crack him if you got him.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. All day, every day.
Crack him if you got him, Seattle.
Here we are at Lumen Field. And is that a Harry Potter reference? Maybe. I don't know. I've casted a lot of Lumen spells.
Lumen videos.
We want to see Deuce represent. We want to see him repeat. I want them repeats. And I don't need 3 beats if they repeat.
I don't need 3 beats.
I don't need
if
3
they
beats.
repeat.
If they repeat. Let's go.
You don't think we're gonna make the postseason?
Maybe wild card.
So this is
Maybe wild card.
This is where I'm like, I'm good for a good ribbing, but like to say we're not gonna make the postseason, now I can't even argue with you because you've
Tough.
oh god.
You know it too. You know it.
Who's your quarterback?
You got
This is our year.
Look at those beers! Look at those beers! Look at those beers! Look at those beers!
Let's go! Let's go, Cowboys! Let's go, baby! Cowboys Nation showing
Most pristine athletes in modern history playing in the NFL. Even the offensive linemen are incredibly athletic. I mean, these guys are over 300 pounds, and you know they can
not only the size, but the speed of the linemen. Are you kidding
fly
me?
on the field.
You're telling me a guy that's 330 pounds meant to block a guy that's 290 pounds is faster than me, a sporty 240?
High 240. High 240. High 240.
I could beat any one of those guys right now, and I've drank a 6-pack.
What? You're wearing Crocs!
My 40 time is better than any of them.
Erroneous! 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 Erroneous on all accounts!
I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
How'd I do?
13-5.
Final quarter, here we go, baby!
CD for the CD, baby!
And I'm going for 2.
Woo!
I don't know why my safety was just playing off so far.
Tackle him!
Yeah, well, I might be a boomer, but you sound like a pipsqueak. You don't even know how old I am.
No!
You little shit. You didn't win the game, I lost it!
Make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to
Call
get
that a
open
throw?
in key situations.
I might be old, but at least I don't still piss my pants.
Protect you and your loved ones with Crackem VPN.
Ever heard the game marry, kill? Okay, like I'm gonna give you 3 people, and you're gonna decide who will you marry, who will you who will you kill?
Okay.
Jerry Jones, Dak Prescott, and Tony Romo.
Marry Jerry. He's got all the monies. Probably Tony. Dak Prescott. Gotta kill him.
I'm kill Romo.
She's gonna with Romo.
I'm gonna marry Dak.
She's gonna marry Dak.
I'm gonna kill Jones.
She's gonna kill Jerry Jones. Who will you marry, kill between Jerry Jones, Dak Prescott, and then Tony Romo?
I'm out.
Jerry Jones, you.
So Jerry?
Jerry Jones, you.
Okay.
You.
Who will you marry, Dak Prescott or Tony Romo? Tony Romo.
Tony Romo.
So that means you would kill Dak?
Yes.
Marry Dak, kill Jerry Jones,
Jerry Jones, poor Jerry.
Tony Romo.
Why not? He's probably one of the best commentators, announcers on the game right now.
Tony Romo? That's mine. That's mine.
Jerry Jones, right now. Right now.
You heard it here, guys. You heard it.
We need trash can.
Oh, here we go.
AJ, you have to sleep in this for the night.
Yep.
Football, we already got. AJ's trying to take a piss right now. Trash can.
Stickers.
Stickers.
Couple stickies.
Couple stickies.
Yes. So we got a trash can. We're gonna go test it out in the toy aisle.
You're not getting it first.
First try.
He's not getting it. Give these guys a shot. They'll win a jersey if they get it. Oh, none of us made it. Come on, Dad. You get a free Cowboys jersey if you get it. None of us have made it. Dad's going for a shot. Come on, let's get it. Oh, that was the closest one.
Felt like the closest. That's gross. Yeah. We all missed it, so don't worry about it. We missed it. You guys going to the game tomorrow? Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Us too.
Not only are we giving away 3 jerseys for whoever can toss a football into that can.
Yeah. Zagamaboosh.
Yeah, baby.
Philly sucks. Philly sucks.
Oh, yeah,
Fagel-
baby.
Philly sucks or do we?
Yeah, baby.
Philly sucks or do we?
Yeah, it's
Well-
kind of ironic that we're wearing Philly Sucks shirts and they're 6-2 and we're 3-5. But it's Eagles week, baby.
You know what? Hey, if you're an Eagles fan, fuck you. If you're a Cowboys fan, crack 'em if you
Correct me
got
if you
'em.
got 'em. And guess what? Just pull the microscope back a little. Okay, sure. If we're looking at climate change and you're just looking at the last 50 years, then it look. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pull back. Pull back. There's a history of Philly sucks.
Philly does suck.
Okay. Especially on this podcast.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
Eagles week, man. I mean, I don't care if we're 1-100. I still want to beat the birds, baby.
You kind of look like you've been kidnapped
Yeah.
and you've been put into a room. Not to laugh at you being.
Someone's got a gun to my head.
Yeah.
Well, I'm used to being able to change my background, but because we're not with Zoom anymore, I can't. So I'm just going with a nice plain background.
Yeah.
I have a green screen I could
that
give
you
you.
could give him. Yeah, but hey, you
Be
know.
floating in and out of that.
Ooh. It actually will probably do pretty good. I think there's a way to key you out on this, so we'll figure that out post content.
Anyways, that doesn't matter. We'll figure that out post show, guys. It is Eagles week.
Crack 'em
If you got him, AJ. I am gonna get a crack 'em in me too. I have some peach pear LaCroix.
Oh.
Crack 'em if you got him. Okay, let's get into it.
Hey.
Fuck, man. 3-5. That's what we're 3-5. 3-5. Eagles are 6-2. What the hell is going on with that?
Well, I before you get into that, there was some really big news this week that affected, most of America, with the Dallas Cowboys being America's team, obviously, and it was all over the news. So I think
The Mingo trade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was getting to. The Mingo trade. And I was serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny Mingo.
Johnny Ringo Mingo. It's crazy how we make a trade like that, and it's news for every. I mean, obviously, it's the most ridiculous trade to make at the moment, to a degree. It just seems like the day after your quarterback gets, we're told that our quarterback's going to be out for multiple weeks, they make the trade like this. And you're like, what is going on here? Like, I thought that was key for us to be entering rebuilding phase.
Or trading guys away, trading people away for a fourth round, gaining some fourth round picks, not trading your fourth round picks. And the last fourth round pick we traded away for someone was Trey Lance. So the Cowboys haven't been very successful in their trades of the fourth round caliber. But what are your guys' thoughts on Jonathan Mingo? I'm looking at his stat, not even his stats, just his physical attributes. He's 6'2" and 220. So he's at least going to throw a little bit of size in that wide receiver room instead of having all these little nimble-footed bitches that we have right now. We'll have someone kind of like a Des Bryant-esque size. So I'm interested to see that, but you're right. It just
AJ's going right to the stats.
Just loading.
It just seems underwhelming and just weird timing, like Ad said, with Dak Prescott injury news and the fact that Dak could be out into December. It just seemed very strange to do.
So it's you can't see, unfortunately. Adam's just fixing the screen here. But, yeah, like you mentioned, 6'2", 220. He was – so I did think at first, and still definitely think I would have rather kept the pick, right?
Oh, yeah.
Same. Totally.
If it was a fifth round, to be honest, okay, I think that would have been
more palpable.
But the reason that Mingo was so highly acclaimed is he's got 3 more years on this contract, and that's what I think pushed him up to a fourth round. So I'm just saying I understand that. 6'2", 220, and 3 years on the contract, and he was playing.
Are you talking about including this season?
Including this season, yeah. 2 more years. Sorry, he's in his second year of a 4-year contract, and he was playing in Carolina, right? So I know his stats don't jump out at you, but I wouldn't write him off.
Right.
However, just the excitement was just really not there at this time, like you mentioned, because with Dak going down, it feels like I don't understand it, but it makes sense if you're like, okay, well, this is a guy who perhaps they're looking to do big things for us in 2025 and 2026.
Yeah, well, I read that the Cowboys had a third-round grade for him last year during the draft process. So technically, if that's the case, in their brains, they got him for a less of a draft stance. But the one thing I would have been happy with is if they did this during the bye week, like 2 weeks ago, before the had him for the San Francisco game, or at least had him against the Atlanta Falcons. Right now, it's the Cowboy season's unofficially kind of done, and it just seems like just weird timing. If you were going to make a trade, it's almost like they did this just to kind of mask the fact that they were putting Dak Prescott on IR. So the big news was Jonathan Mingo being traded, not Dak Prescott being hurt and going to be out for multiple months. You know what I mean? Yep. Or multiple weeks.
The media can't chase two rabbits.
What's the outlet's going to take? I think you're absolutely right. Had this have been a few weeks prior, then it would have looked like a good trade. The fourth rounder, we would have been like, I don't know about the fourth rounder. Bandwagon Bob is saying, what are they paying him? They're actually not paying him. His contract's not too bad. It's like $1 million a year for the next 2 years.
It's under $2 million, yeah.
So he's cheap.
So he's
definitely cheap.
The rounds that we're giving, the trade capital for the draft, that position that we're giving him, that's not really great. A fourth rounder when our season is basically now kaput. That's where I think it stings a little bit more for all of us when we're looking at it and saying, okay, Dak Prescott out for 4 weeks, possibly longer, because the chicken's coming off the bone, and now you're making some moves here and giving away our future, our future rebuild, because we've already seen what happened to that fourth round pick that you gave away from this past draft, Jerry.
You're right. A couple things here is like the fourth round pick, does that negate the need to now go get a wide receiver in the draft? I don't think so, but this could be their thought. There's also that chance that Jonathan Mingo goes out there and plays better than a fourth round pick. Okay, that's great. here's the only downside is, depending on what happens here with Dak, and I was reading today, I don't know if you guys shared it. I think someone shared it in our chat. It could be longer than 4 weeks, and then at that point, would he be coming back if they opt for a surgery or something like that? So get it done sooner than later. But if Jonathan Mingo does go out there and performs well, we're not going to get to see him with Dak. So is that just going to be a connection that he had with Cooper Rush or Trey Lance, whichever one's out on the field?
Yeah, well, I mean, Dak Prescott is going for secondary opinions, but they're already saying that the muscle has come completely off of the bone for his hamstring injury. So it's like
he's been slow cooked.
Yeah, he's been slow roasted. It's just it's roasted so bad that it's coming off the bone.
That's how I like my Texas barbecue, not my Texas quarterbacks. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But Ad made a good point. The reason it stings so bad is just the fact that like this year's draft, there was a lot of good players that the Cowboys could have added in their arsenal. Yeah. But you also countered that with AJ saying maybe they're saying, well, they're not going to get a 4th round wide receiver better than this guy next season. So why not get him in right now and see how he does next year? Yeah. So I don't know. I guess it's gonna depend how it shakes out a bit.
And
there's
his
a
stats,
lot of unknown.
Alex already said it. His stats, you can't really look at him. It's more of a quarterback and play calling issue when you look at some of his the tape from the reps he had in Carolina. So they could be looking at it and saying, "Hey, this is better than what we're going to get for wide receiver in the 4th round." And also, we can fix this. The stuff that's happening to him here, it doesn't negate what he absolutely is with his particulars, right?
I will say
weird timing. It was just weird.
Weird timing.
Exactly.
Weird timing. I think that the pick is just the cusp level pick where everyone
it's a cuck pick.
It's a cuck pick. Everyone's on the fence about it, being like, I don't know. We're gonna have to see how it plays out. And it would have been nice to have seen him have maybe a couple standout plays. I totally forgot about him as a wide receiver, and I do remember us talking about him during the draft as well. And
good size. He has good size, man.
Good size.
He was that big body receiver.
Yeah, and sorry, I did go and look because I was like, okay, well, why did they let go of Mingo over their other receivers? And I went and looked. Every single one of those receivers on Carolina are like 6'2", 220 pounds, or 6', 220. They're a bunch of big boys out there.
Well, and if you look at,
I don't know, maybe they just thought,
when we were like, why didn't they pick these people? Why didn't they beat these people? Look at what DeAndre Hopkins' salary cap hit's going to be for the team. And if you even look at Deontay Johnson, like he's on his a half of a year, so you're getting him for winning this moment. Like you're getting him for this year because his contract's only a half of year for
he's
him.
a rental.
He's a rental. He's absolutely a rental. So when you look at their move that they're picking him up, it's like, okay, we're going to get a bit of him in here, install him into our play calling, get him familiar with the personnel, and then we
get
can
him on the field Sunday.
Yeah, we can utilize him next year. Exactly. Well, get him on there. They won't know what hit him.
I've seen good reviews of his on field, and I've seen some bad reviews of him on field, and so I'm just like, okay, I just want to see it happen. This makes football games on whenever the Cowboys play Sundays a little bit more exciting.
We don't even care when they play now. Whenever they play, whatever.
Yeah, what day? What do they play? What day do they play this week?
Who are they playing?
It's a midday game for West Coast, midday game, middle game.
Man, speaking of that, like, what day do they play? Like, just so much excitement for the season, and now it's just kind of like I'm still, I'll still watch every game. We'll still stream every game, but it's just
we got our
such
first
a kick in the balls, man.
We got our first Super Bowl of the year coming up this Sunday.
At least.
Yeah. Hey, if we can make the Eagles miss the postseason somehow, like if they have one loss too many and it's because Cowboys served them one.
It's
that
time.
feels good.
It's time to be a problem in other teams' side. I don't want to let anybody just use us as a stack game, which I think, like we said, the most Cowboys thing that's going to happen is that they're going to actually win out on a bunch of these games and give us a bad positioning for this upcoming draft. So have those good games against NFC rivals and make sure that the Philly Eagles have a shitty time when they play us.
Sorry, guys. I'm just making sure I'm finding the right top 10 storylines from Eat Me Out.
From DallasCowboys.com. I mean,
maybe he's just like, you know what, we're canning it. There's no
He's
more
like
story.
the top two storylines instead.
So as Alex is finding, I think he did find it possibly.
I'm not saying we got to jump into that.
Okay, he's finding that right now. But let's
finding it.
let's talk about the rest of the year. Like right now, after the game and the post game and on Monday night hangover, we were talking about like the Cowboys seasons are done. If they would have to, what would they have to do to absolutely make that wild card? What would have to happen to have the Cowboys
7-2? Just go 7-2 with their last 9 games.
It's not.
You need 10 wins. You need at least 10 wins. I don't think 9-8 is going to be good enough in the end. 10 wins might not even be good enough
for the
because
NFC
you have the Minnesota Vikings, the Green Bay Packers, and the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe it's in that order. All have 6 wins and all are in that wild card spot right now. So I mean, winning against the Eagles and give us that little bit of hope. Winning against the Eagles would put you a game closer to the wild card. It would get you to 4-5, and the Eagles would be 6-3. But still, you're still 2 games back. So you would need a lot of stuff to go your way. And starting off with your starting quarterback out is not the best. But who knows? Maybe Cooper Rush gets in there and turns it around and gives. I mean, if Cooper Rush and the Cowboys beat the Eagles this weekend, there's going to be pandemonium and people are going to be calling for a lot of shit. If the offense even just looks good.
Yeah.
Like if the offense goes out there on the first drive and scores a touchdown, get ready to be Cowboys Nation because
TGR had a really good breakdown about Coop Rush from the last game and what he's coming up for. And he made a great point that sometimes Dak doesn't trust his first read. And even if the play is for that first read, you're supposed to go to it. And he tries to do too much and then he panics. And the offense has looked very confusing all year long. Linz and I were watching the Monday night game and then even a couple of other games outside of the Cowboys game. And she's like, why is it when I watch other teams, their offense just seems more secure when they're moving the ball. And when I watch the Cowboys, they just seem so confused and unsure of themselves. And
what was TGR's point?
Well, TGR's point was that Coop Rush, because he is a very systematic quarterback, he's going to just go to that first read. So he's like, that's either, it was one of those things. It's either going to work against us or it's going to work really well for us. But I think with Mike McCarthy's play calling, he wants that quarterback to go to that first read option and not try to do too much.
It will be interesting to see. I do want to see Lance out there too. And it'd be interesting if they put him out for a couple plays or certain packages. But the one thing that's going to be counting against Rush this time, with him stepping in for a prolonged period of time, is he doesn't have that backup running back situation, which does help a lot with that type of more game management. And I don't even know if he is a game manager, but when I say that, I do mean it derogatorily, and that he's a quality, obviously, NFL quarterback, top backup QB, but we want Dak Prescott to come back. Like, we're not happy sitting there. But he's a type of guy who I think can not lose a game, move the ball for 180, 220 yards.
If you have those weapons around him.
If he has those weapons and a running game to help, we're going to find out what this offense is like with another quarterback, and that'll be...
Well, yeah, and you're going against a hard team. Like the Eagles, they're 6-2. Their offense looks great. Saquon Barkley's hurdling people backwards.
316 over people. Saquon Barkley does a gainer over top of Coop Rush. How's that even possible?
I wasn't so impressed. I've done weird shit in Madden like that, and
that's what it looked like. It looked like a Madden glitch. So that was one of the most wild highlights I've seen. And this Eagles team is better than they were last year in my mind. But again, they started off hot last year and faded through at the end of the year. So
and know that O does not mean outstanding.
No, it means out. I'm surprised that they have them. And then you got CeeDee Lamb questionable, Devontae Smith questionable. Dowdle coming off of probably his best game. I think that was Dowdle's best game, against the Atlanta Falcons. So there was that one like glimmering, shining moment, and it'll be nice to see what he can do against the Philadelphia Eagles to see if we do have something in him. This is Rico Dowdle's kind of chance to show, hey man, you guys should have been giving me the ball this much right from the start of the year. So I'm interested to still see that. I'm interested to see Mingo also.
Yeah, and let's get Dowdle 2 Russian tugs. You know,
Yeah.
Let's get him looking good out there. They gave Zeke one when they kept Dowdle off the field. I want to go back to Hurts quickly though. Just looking at his stats, I mean, I hate to hate him, but the man's having a good football season right now. 150 for 215, 1,700 yards and 10 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
And that's not even adding what he brings to you in the rushing game, right? Like he also is he's really good at running the ball. Can score if he's in the red zone. He can score at any point from the 20 yards and in. So he brings that point. I think this offense is
we know this
most
offense.
Rounded. Pardon?
We know this offense. I mean, and they have Saquon Barkley.
I think it's the most rounded offense that the Cowboys have faced. And we've seen some offensive smash them. Like the Ravens put up some points, the Lions put up some points, and the Saints put up some points. But just with Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, I'm not sure if AJ Brown's playing or not, but just that group of guys, they can score from anywhere and beat you up the whole game.
Funny. I saw a stat, and I don't know if you guys saw it as well, but since 2021, they showed who the rushing touchdown leaders are. Do you know who's tied for first? Jalen Hurts and Derrick Henry. Like you basically
what for most touchdowns
since like 2021, like 40. They're both tied for like 46 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns.
Crazy.
So you're just like you have someone like that who we as much shit as we give him for being RB1. When you put that type of person under center who has the elusiveness and the legs like that and the quads and the thighs because he squats 600 pounds. You bet you're a defense. Like the Cowboys, who have been very lackluster on rushing defense, it's scary.
Stupid fucking ESPN.
I'll just move it down while you fix your life there.
No, I was just trying to get the team stats up because I know we honed in last week at least, and we do like to look at this at the third down stats and fourth down stats, and just got me thinking. I wonder how Philly does. And when you mentioned Hurts, let's have a look here. So. Because that's what he brings to the table, right? He brings those short distance, for sure, down.
Oh, you were trying to fix that gap there.
I was trying to fix this gap, but I can't do it this is an awesome stat breakdown. It just sucks how they have this table, like...
Yeah, and even if you...
Spread so wide, its legs are spread wide open. We got the third down efficiency... third down efficiency, 43 for 109, 40%. Third down efficiency, but here's the kicker: 65% fourth down efficiency, 11 for 17.
They go for it a lot on fourth down. That's a big number.
They do.
And honestly, not the greatest. I mean, like I would, if I'm going for fourth downs, and I don't even know what the Cowboys is, but and after they missed 2 fourth downs actually last week, but I would want to be somewhere. I think in the where are they 65? I'd want to be like 70 and plus. I think.
That is pretty damn good, though. If you're better than a coin flip at getting the fourth down, you're going to go for it every time.
We need to check what the Cowboys are after.
Yeah,
just to put it into context, because I can't remember if they're good or not.
I'll check right now, but I know that's
they're bad. Well, they were shit last week, that's for sure. So.
Oh yeah, Cowboys are not good with it.
And they're 67. The Eagles.
65%.
65%.
Yeah.
On fourth down conversion.
Yeah.
And then they were like 40% on third, which I think that's decent. 40% is pretty decent. Well, you have a lot of their fourth downs are going to be short yardage where they can just kind of do that stupid ass tush push, which has been stopped a couple times this year, but they still have it in their arsenal.
Yeah, you're right. It's 38% on third down efficiency for the Cowboys and 35% for fourth down. If you take those two away, though, then it would be 6 for 15, which is...
It's awful.
Yeah.
That's still really bad.
Yeah, it's under 50%. So
under 50%. Yeah, okay. Don't go for it on fourth down.
Don't go for it on fourth down, but don't have to. Not with Coop Rush and the boys. Coop Rush and the boys might have a better fourth down conversion. We don't know. Coop. I mean, we have to look back at Coop Rush stats specifically, which we could get into. Where the Cowboys are lacking. I think we've looked at this before. Cooper Rush's red zone efficiency wasn't any better when he was under center, but it would be funny if the things that the Cowboys are struggling with under Dak Prescott, Coop Rush comes in and he balls out. I mean, look, he's never had a great season. Was it 2022 that he played a bunch? Yep.
Yeah, he played 5 games in 2022. Actually, Cooper Rush's last start was against the Eagles.
And it was a lot. It was a loss.
It was a loss. He threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah, and that's where we're just like the whole Coop Rush experience. We're just like, get the heck out of here, Coop Rush.
Well, if he would have won that one, it would have been very impressive.
Well, this is his numbers from that season. He started in Cincinnati, went to Philly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that run that he went on. Pretty good numbers. Washington, even though his completion rate dropped below like 60%, still ended up with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then
and the only interceptions he threw were against Philly. He went turnover free in all the other games, and that was the reason that he had success. So let's hope if he can take care of the ball, if he can find our guy CD when he can, if Rico Dowdle can hold his end of the bargain. If the defense played pretty good against Bijan Robinson and the Atlanta Falcons. If they can mirror that and hold Saquon to what they held Bijan to, the offense will have its opportunities because the defense didn't lose the game on Sunday, and I'm hoping that they can hold it up a little bit for Cooper Rush and the other backups that we're going to be watching.
You know, bright spot.
And the bright spot is Overshown, obviously. Like, I feel like Overshown and Kendricks, that combo, like, is helping move this defense along as they're finding their identity from 32nd to 31st.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. Ermel in the chat says Dallas is back this weekend, baby, and Dallas Goddard. I mean,
oh, okay.
Goddard's back, so he's an Eagles fan.
Zing.
Zinger.
Got us. You got us good.
You Goddard us.
I can't even remember, but this looks obviously even worse than last week. 28th overall, 29th overall, and 31st overall defense. Sorry, 29th overall offense. This is all on the PFF rankings. We did drop, though, on special teams down from 4th. I think tied for 4th to 5th.
Yeah, we were T4 last week. Now we're 5th. Bunch of bullshit.
Mail it in.
We got the Eagles here, 5th overall, 10th ranked offense, and 3rd ranked defense, but their special team sucks. Tied for 11th.
Philly sucks. Ermel says, sorry for the low blow. Your shirts hurt my feelings.
Hey, that's fair.
That's what happens,
That's
baby.
We started it.
Points scored 199. That's 16th, and then points allowed 155th. They're 7th. So they have a very good defense. The Eagles here.
I said this is probably one of the most best overall teams we've seen, and you're looking at it right now. They're 5th overall in the NFL. They're going to be good. Are they traveling to AT&T? AT&T's at home, or the Cowboys are at home, correct?
Yep.
So that's good at least because we've just had those 2 road losses. Maybe we can squeak one back away from the Eagles at AT&T Stadium.
Sorry, I said yes like I knew, but I can tell you right now. I have my schedule up right here. They're home.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, they're at home.
They play the Eagles in Philly in December.
Right.
Eagles and then Texans at home and then away to Washington, and then we're there for the Giants game. Boys, I mean, just a side quest here while we're talking to the Eagles. Like, how are you guys feeling about the Thanksgiving game? Is it just kind of like,
oh, I'm
excited for it.
I'm as excited as ever. I've accepted that this is, and in fact, I hate to say it, but if this is about getting better through the draft and through next year's free agency, then I want to lose to tomorrow's game. I want to lose the week after. I want to see some fun football and some good things happen. I don't want to see Dak come back early just to squeak out 3 wins and then, give us a lower playoff position. Playoffs. And I know that's playoffs. But if the front office has already kind of have a foot out the door of this season, then what the fuck are we doing? Let's just go all out. Let's get the lowest pick we can.
Let's go all in on tanking.
Look, these injuries kind of have been a benefit in that you could just sit Dak for the rest of the year and let things ride out. Yep. And there's your excuse. And I do want the Cowboys to do that because I want the better pick. In the long run, it makes more sense. And for Can Fan, it sucks. But hey, at least we'll get those hate videos.
Yeah. Boot says Can Fan is undefeated at tailgate parties, baby. Oh.
If
Oh,
if
yeah,
it's
I'm-
a
that-
if it's a 10th pick versus a 12th pick and we beat Philly both times, I still pick beat Philly both times.
Oh,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
100%.
yes. Beat Philly's the Super Bowl, but sorry, that long-winded answer was just to say that's how I'm going to enjoy Dallas Cowboys football now, week to week. If I get
Yeah, well, I think we're all gonna hang out, crack them if we got them, eat some pizza on stream, have some cookies.
I feel like
some short baked cookies. We're gonna have a good time no matter what.
Sorry, you won't stress eat. You won't be eating those shortbread cookies on stream.
I'm not gonna have to stress eat.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be grazing. I'm gonna be just comfortable grazing.
Yeah.
And I feel I'm going to try to get another random Jello shot. I also feel like we definitely are not in a bad way, but they, around AT&T Stadium security, they have pictures of just keep an eye on these people to see what they're up to, and we are definitely on that board.
For sure. Yeah, we're on that board for sure. Bandwagon Baba says, "I'm sure you guys will get fired up." Yeah, she knows her kids.
Well, guaranteed when we're watching a game and each of us has 2 drinks, we're going to be acting like the season's on the line every game.
Yeah, if Coop Rush does a big frickin' 15-yard scramble to get that first D, I'm going to be screaming for Coop Rush.
With that voice, it sounded like you were getting your first.
I
D.
was.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for. That first D from Coop Rush. You know what I'm saying? That first D from Coop Rush.
Give it to Rico. Rico deserves the touchdown. Let's get the boy let's pad his stats. And if this was Madden and I just made this trade for this young guy, he's getting 15 targets a game now for the rest of the season just to try to get his stats up so I can, have a
Just
nice
to justify it.
So you can justify it.
Just so next year it's like, okay, good. Now, he's got a better rating.
Can we look at the Eagles' last 4 games, just see their schedule and just see what they've done to teams in the last few games? Is that too much of an ask?
What was that? Sorry?
Can we just look at their schedule?
Eagles, yeah.
I just want to see what they've done in the last 3 games or 4 games.
Okay, I got a better thing for that.
Get it, AJ. Get it here. I'll move out of there.
There's a better version of what you're asking for.
Well, AJ brings that up. Rolando Rodriguez says, Cowboys camp fan, did you hear Mike Fisher that Dak hamstring is torn off the bone today? Dak wants second opinion from the doctor. Go Cowboys. Emojis. Yes, Rolando Rodriguez. We unfortunately heard that. We were making jokes that we like our Texas barbecue dripping off the bone, not our Texas QBs.
Yeah.
Lainey Wilson is the country artist, is doing the halftime show on Turkey Day. She's supposed to have a special guest. I'm hoping it's Post Malone. The one thing we have to look forward to is what Boots says. If Posty, crack him if you got him.
If you got him to that.
I'll get my first D if Posty if Posty's there as a special guest, which you know what he might be. Crack him if you got him.
Sorry. Before we look at the crack me if you got him. Before we look at the Philadelphia Eagles schedule. We also have all that new those delicious food items I want to be fucking grazing.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Remember, we each got to pick
go.
one.
We're going to have to go into the stadium
early
as soon as we can. As soon as we can get in there. And we're going to be foodies. We're going to, not only will that probably help us remember the game, but we'll have a nice full belly and we'll get to eat some overpriced, delicious food.
Yeah. Hopefully it's delicious. We're going to have to sweet talk the whoever's taking the order so that they make sure we get the freshness.
I know. Yeah, don't give me some of that stuff that's been sitting there, waiting under that warm heater. I want some.
Well, I think about the 3 other times that we've been to AT&T Stadium. I think all we've ever had is chicken strips, and I think it was last time. I had
a little ass fucking $15 hot dog.
Okay, so chicken strips, yes. AJ's had a hot dog. I had a Philly cheese steak. Or a cheesesteak that first year we went, which was probably the best cheesesteak I've ever had, by the way.
How many hot dogs did your shoes eat, though?
My shoes, the bottom of my shoes, he had a few hot dogs. Anthony and I split a chicken burrito, and then my jersey got the chicken burrito.
I never had any of the chicken burrito.
Yes, you did, because I cut it in half, and then I gave you half, and then after I gave it to you, I sat down, and then it fell onto my jersey. It fell onto my jersey. 100%.
Classic.
Actually, I think
you gave someone a chicken burrito.
Here's what even happened. I gave you half the chicken burrito, and you said, okay, that's not going to be enough. And then you went back and you grabbed yourself a hot dog.
Yeah, that sounds plausible.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Just the schedule here. The Eagles. First week they played Green Bay. They won 34-29. Nice showing by all 3 passing, rushing, and receptions there. Atlanta, they lost to 22-21. And Anthony, you were talking about this. If we had beaten Atlanta and we were coming back to, like, this is totally what if Marvel Alternative Universe.
Love it,
stuff
baby.
here. But I hate to do this to us, guys, but our mentality would have been a lot different. You beat Atlanta. Atlanta beats Philly. Now we're going to this Philly game, and we're thinking, hey.
Yeah, it's 4-4. And you're 4-4.
And you're 4-4. Oof.
You beat the Eagles. You're 5-4. They're 6-3. You're right in the mix.
Yep.
That did not happen, though.
With 2 big wins. Next up on week 3 was New Orleans, and they won 15-12, so not a big scoring game.
Big snore fest there.
And lost to Tampa Bay in week 4, 33-16. 2-2. 2-2 into the bye. Then after the bye week. Then after the bye week.
They were looking rough. They were looking rough going into the bye.
They were. Yeah.
Yeah, then they've had some nice green W's.
And by week 5, we were kind of in the same boat, I believe, right?
I mean, Cleveland and New York, those should have been wins for them. But look at Cleveland, 20-16 is what they won for. So it's like that's a hurting win there.
New York, yeah. Giants can't think too much about it, but a victory is a victory. 28-3 in week 7. Week 8, Bengals 37-17.
Which the Bengals haven't been great as a team.
Bengals have not been great. No.
And then they barely beat Jacksonville. So I mean, the last 4 games they played
have not been like, if you
maybe one good team there.
Okay.
And I would say that's Cincinnati, and I don't even know if Cincinnati is really that good of a team.
You know what I like? Okay, so this is interesting here. So we play them.
Cowboys by 40?
Yeah, Cowboys by 40. We play them.
Tickets as low as $40.
Wow. So we play them, and then all of a sudden, 4 days later, they play Washington. And then after that Washington game, Washington faces us. So possibly if it's a slobber knocker, because you're going, Washington's basically going back to back with NFC East games. Eagles are going back to back with NFC East games, and then we go back to back with NFC East games, Washington, then New York. Ooh. I think us getting Washington, and I don't know when Washington's bye is, but getting Washington off of an Eagles game, that's going to be good for us going into that Sunday game against Washington, I think.
So if the Cowboys, let's just play now.
Did that make sense to you what I was saying there?
I was going to ask why, but I was going to let Ann finish and then.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, I'm just looking at the Eagles playing Dallas and then playing Washington, and let's just play Marvel Universe.
Let's do it.
One of the finishing multiverses.
Let's call it
Canfanverse,
or let's call it Beautiful Mindverse because of all the math that we got to do here.
Let's math it up. It's not even really that much math, but if Dallas and Washington both beat Philadelphia, Philadelphia is now 6-5, right? And if the Cowboys win, Cowboys would have one more win, so they would be 4-5 at the very least, and that would only put them, I guess, still 2 games back. But then if the Cowboys win their next game, so let's say this: if the Cowboys win their next 2 and the Eagles win their next 2, now we're starting to cook a little bit. And
Eagles lose, you mean?
Yeah, Eagles would have to lose against Dallas and Washington, and then the Cowboys would have to beat the Eagles and then the Texans.
Okay.
So
yeah,
tall order, but then that puts the Cowboys at 5-5.
Oh,
and the Eagles would be 6-5.
That brings the NFC Beast
or 6-4. Sorry.
Yeah, that brings the NFC Beast a little bit more into a range of competition.
Is that plausible?
Of course it is.
Here's the thing. Plausible, but it's tough.
Out of the last few weeks. Look, the Cowboys just know the Eagles enough that they could squeak out a victory here. Something fantastic could happen. I would assume it's going to be a low-scoring game if that happens. And I think it was either one of you guys were talking about if the Cowboys get off to if the Eagles come down and score right away, it's going to be a long day for the Cowboys. But if they do make a stop and go down and score 7, or vice versa, score 7 and make a stop, okay, there's the chance to win the game. Now you just need to stay ahead by 3 points for the rest of the game. And they could potentially do that. This defense, though, and this offense is just, they're going to put the pressure on the Cowboys. Perhaps we get Micah back. I don't know, but
I mean,
we might get some Micah.
Yeah,
so we might get some Micah. We might get some Bland. Andrew Smith says this is some incredible copium. I mean,
I saw that. Can I just read out real quick? It's like, well, what do you want us to do? We're just sit here and cry that we're going to lose to the Eagles?
I mean, look at
Read the shirts. Read the shirts,
Yeah.
Andrew.
No
You fucking idiot. You fucking dipshit. Philly sucks, and we're coming for that dub.
Imagine if Andrew Smith goes, no, he's like, actually, I needed this today. I've had a bad day. I'm a Cowboys fan.
Oh, no.
All this news here, and now you're eating now Ant's getting that
Winston. Eating those W's, baby.
Eating those George W's.
Hey, should we do the read live?
Oh, yeah, let's
we'll
do
make our picks.
Yeah, we'll do the read live while we do the picks.
This is always a mess.
I'm just gonna sit here silent.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you should.
We'll try to go quickly.
Oh no, Andrew Smith says, "Hell no, go Birds." Well, guess what, Andrew Smith? Fuck you. Okay. Fuck you.
Ooh,
that's
sorry,
a burp
guys.
for Andrew
All right.
Smith.
Burp him if you slurp him.
Burp him if you slurp him, Andrew Smith.
Andrew Smith and all y'all listening out there right now. UnderdogFantasy.com. What is Underdog Fantasy? Underdog is the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. With over 5 million happy players and $2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all your favorite athletes' performances. We only look at football, though, okay? Compete against other players just by selecting higher or lower or 2 or more players' stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. So turn every touchdown into a win with Underdog. Now, we've played this a few times.
Yes, we have.
And should I just pull it up?
Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Oh, I know what I gotta do. Before you showcase it, I just know I have to pause this. Otherwise, it's gonna act a fool. But our last experience, let me be honest, we have made some real silly picks, and we have not had a lot of help from the Dallas Cowboys. We always make 2 not picks. Hang on, let me get the right verbiage here. We always make 2
pick'ems
entries. We always place 2 entries on the Cowboys and 1 on their opponents. And we're going to be doing that again right now and live. And we're
right now.
We're going to get that big dub. So right now, if I actually, hang on, there's no cool promos for us. Actually, there might be.
Promo code CanFan.
But there is a cool promo that you can do, or a cool game that you can do. It's called the Red Zone Rush, and it's a game you won't find anywhere else. Just pick whether or not a player will score a touchdown by swiping right for yes or left for no. It's as simple as that. It's like Tinder, but for touchdowns, baby.
For fantasy pick'ems.
Yeah, plus your entry will automatically be boosted, and you will get a 51% profit boost when you play. You don't find that game anywhere else, okay? Now, Dallas Cowboys, Philly Eagles, we're making our picks.
Make them, baby.
All right, Cooper Rush. Who do we want to? Who's the first pick 'em for us, guys?
Okay, we got to go Coop Rush. We have to go Coop Rush.
Okay, so Coop Rush has higher or lower on 0.5 passing touchdowns. He's got higher.
I say higher.
You're saying calling a touchdown?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Higher. Coop Rush is higher.
We boost him up.
Boost him up, baby.
Higher.
Yeah, there you go. Ant's back.
Who's the next player we want to pick on here on the Cowboys? And it looks like they have a lot less picks because things are very uncertain.
Well, we don't know.
We
don't know if CeeDee Lamb's going to be playing, so I don't think we want to have him as one of our pick'em entries. I think we should look at someone else.
We got Jakey Ferg.
Let's go Rico Dowdle and go higher on Rico.
Higher. You think he's going to get a rush or a reception touchdown?
I think he's going to get a rushing touchdown.
Rushing.
Well, it's either or. Just one.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
higher. Boost.
Higher.
He's been boosted. Now we get this error. Well, we got to pick a disgusting Philadelphia Eagles player. Saquon Barkley. So higher or lower rushing touchdown or reception touchdown. Higher or lower from 93.5 rushing yards. I say higher.
You think he's going to get more than 93 yards?
Yes.
Okay.
Or higher than, he's going to fumble the ball. Do you think he's going to do that? So what do you guys think?
How many touchdowns does he need? 0.5?
0.5.
Go higher on that one.
I mean, I think that's the pick.
Okay, let's see. It might not let us do it, but
might not let us do it because they're like, these are all for sure's. Like you're not getting that there, kiddo. You're not getting that.
No, it's because we did 3 touchdowns, so we have to pick a different stat. So, like, I believe if we went, okay, you know what? I'll sort this out. No, I think it's there is something weird here where when you try to actually select a There we go. So we
There we go.
So
baby.
we have to we can't double down on touchdowns for Dallas, unfortunately. So man, this really screws our
Anth hit higher on the Underdog promo right here. Look at him. Hey-oo.
Well, you know what? Let's finalize this, because here's the thing. Usually this is really easy, but Underdog does a great job of keeping things so up to date that when you get, because the Cowboys are so unknown right now, they have limited the options. So we're going to go back and fix that. But look, that's how easy it was. We could have submitted with another option. I don't like the pick, though. So
no, AJ does not like
I don't like
his
the pick.
pick'em.
We'll make that decision afterwards. But here's the promo, guys. Underdog is the best place to play champions. So sign up and deposit now using promo code CANFAN.
CANFAN.
To get up to 1,000 in bonus cash instantly. And this season, Underdog's going to be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like profit boosts. Pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts. You'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at winning that Big George W. And free picks. They're basically a sure thing. A player has just a higher than 0.5 in, touchdowns, yards thrown for a quarterback. I mean, he's going to do it, right? Plus, all new users get a free pick. Well, we've gone through our wonderful personal experience, and now the last thing we got to do, guys, is tell you to go download the app today and use code CANFAN, CANFAN, to get up to 1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's CANFAN to get up to 1,000 bonus cash instantly.
That's not bonus. That's bonus.
Bonus. And here's the disclaimer. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama, Nebraska, and 19 year or older in Colorado. For some games, 21 years or older in Massachusetts and Arizona. And present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369. Let's get back to the show, baby.
Oh my goodness. I was getting into what you were doing there.
Look,
at least one of us was.
Look, the unfortunate thing about that pick is usually it goes smoothly, but there's just so many. The Cowboys are very limited with their options. It usually gives you 3 to 5 options per player, and then you can have a lot more fun. But it won't let you double down on passing touchdowns and wide receiver.
They just want to keep things fair. That's all good.
Yeah, they don't let you do that like you can in fantasy football. But it is very much like a fantasy football
Underdog.
game.
Good Underdog. Check them out.
And
what do we got for the top 5 storylines?
Look, at the end of the day, Eagles still suck. Okay.
Yeah, Philly sucks.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that we explain that because get off my screen.
Okay, baby.
All right. Big Ten. Well, first, do you want me to bring up usually we look at injuries. I guess it doesn't really matter, hey?
Well, I mean, the Cowboys are coming into this thing pretty banged up. Outside of Dak Prescott hitting that injury list, CeeDee Lamb's questionable. Might as well bring it up for a quick sec here. Like, that is not great.
Jeez, is that just the Cowboys?
That's their whole 53-man depth chart.
That's insane, man. That's wild.
Hey,
who's
Philly?
out? I can't read it. What do we have? Did Deron Bland not practice? DNP'd?
Yeah, DNP for Bland, full practice for Kalen Carson, limited for Diggs and Guyton, full for Linvale Joseph. Kendricks did not practice, and neither did Zach Martin. Lamb limited, Parsons limited, and then Prescott, Wanway, and Nick Vigil.
So Nick's still
practice.
Nick's still looking like he's having issues, but I feel like Diggs and Kendricks and Lamb could possibly just be Veterans Day off, possibly.
Oh yeah, most of those Wednesday's too hard to really judge. All you care about is if they didn't practice. Okay,
yeah,
that's something to take note of. Well, I guess that's what you were just saying with the DMPs, right?
Wow, the Eagles too. And again,
Eagles
you
have
said-
even more.
But like you said, it's kind of like there might be a bunch of vet days type thing on Wednesdays.
Yeah, like Saquon having a limited practice. Yeah, they're going to start to limit his practices probably until Fridays.
Totally. Yeah, get just some light work in. AJ Brown, same thing, limited participation. But any DNPs on that list?
Well, sorry, they did mention in chat that Dallas Goedert is back. So he had a full practice on Wednesday, but DNPs are Devontae Smith did not practice with a hamstring injury, and Nolan Smith, outside linebacker, with a groin.
Which proves that, if one Smith's out, the other Smith has to go out.
Yeah, and Ben Van Summeren, linebacker, with a concussion.
Conky.
So I mean, it's the NFL. Everyone's fighting those injury battles. Obviously, I think the Cowboys were feeling it a bit more than everybody else. Our QB1's out. Our number one defensive player's out still, and because it's not saying if Mike is going to be back yet or not. You said, Anth, that Micah possibly will be coming back this game. I bet you he doesn't.
That's what. No. That Micah himself said, "I'm coming back."
Oh. But I think he's been saying that he said that before the bye week. So
I would love to see him. I would love to see Micah come out and play football again with the Dallas Cowboys. But this is what he says. He says chances are high, and so is he, that he'll play. My chances are high, but we've just got to see. What the hell? Hang on.
That's your laptop.
Don't worry. Yeah, I know it's.
Oh, there we go.
It's my chances are high, but we've just got to see how how the practice week goes. Parsons said on Wednesday. See what measures we have to take play this game. He says, I feel great. Yeah. Go ahead, finish this.
I feel great. I just got to feel the rush. I feel like I'm starting all over. My lungs were hurting out there, so it's basically like I'm restarting my season all over again. So it's just going to be an interesting week. So he's basically
that's just the cold. That's just the fall wind getting your lungs there, Micah.
Yeah,
into
you'll
it.
be good. Get out there.
Get out there. Let's.
I want to see the Lion back. I mean, give me some Micah Parsons. Give me Micah Sack and Jalen Hurts. That makes the world nice.
Hey, let's lock the defense in. I'd love to see Micah get back out there and get 2 sacks, and then he starts to compete for. He can be that underdog story for the rest of the season of Micah just like eating people's lunches, getting those sacks,
taking those souls.
I don't think he'd lead the league this season, but it'd be nice for him to make that push for defensive end of the. I know that's not an official title, but for him to push that narrative again that he's the best DE in the league.
He was talking on his podcast that he's been here before. Dak being out, and we had to rely on our QB2 coming in. He's like, so he's like, I have experience coming into what he's about to come into, which does having your QB1 go down and you're now on the backup, that can do a lot of things to the team. I actually just think like with all of the stuff that's going on, if you're a Dallas Cowboys player, like how are you not angry with the narrative that's shaping around this team? And it's easy.
You go home and you hop in your giant bed and your Ferrari.
You can't, if you're a Dallas Cowboys player, who gives a fuck about the noise? There might not even be problems within the locker room. It just like it's the organization gives me that vibe.
Yeah.
But everything might be peachy keen and you're just going through your regular turmoil that every team does, and like you're dealing with a 53-man roster. Like it's not going to be a fucking military organization, right? Like there's going to be guys there who push each other's buttons, and that's totally fine. So if I was them, it would be like, I just don't listen to the noise. Now, if there are issues and it's leaking out and the vibe that maybe I'm getting, and I don't know if you guys get it too, is the same, then okay, that's, something that is concerning. But otherwise, just like, don't even pay attention to media. And that's tough as a Dallas Cowboy, right? Like you are in the news. If you have fucking fart and they catch it on camera, they're going to write about it.
Totally.
Which is a good article, by the way. And I think our boy...
And I would post it. I would post it on the Instagram and on the TikTok because people love fart humor.
And you know what? Eat Me Out, we're going to give you we're giving you that one for free because you give us so much every single week. We got the big picture, 10 storylines for Cowboys and Eagles. And now, if he does have 10 storylines, because I guess you could go back historically and pull stuff from the past, but if these are 10 quality storylines, I think one of us has to buy Nick Eat Me Out, Eat Men lunch.
Oh, if
he's definitely he's double downing on injuries for the Cowboys. Like it's got to be. There's no way there's 5 fresh storylines. I guess.
Well, you throw in Mingo.
Throw in Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb.
Throw in
the Eagles rivalry.
And
I mean that's
and throw in Parsons potentially coming back.
And I think
So,
I bet you one's going to be
Injury heavy.
I bet you one thing's going to be possibly seeing Trey Lance. Do they have Trey Lance in some of these plays, having both Coop Rush and Trey Lance as a trickery play out there?
I'm going to double down and say you don't even see the name Trey Lance in this.
You're going to double down on it and say it?
I just to go against you.
Okay.
I think
Hey,
you make
I
a
know.
good point, but I just want to make it a competition.
Oh, hey, Mom, you just confirmed that Ant's always against me.
Look at Nick Eat Me Out.
Sorry, Nick, it's your photo, man. We do.
Why does he look like a 007 N64 kid?
Okay. Let's get into this, guys. Who wants to go first?
I mean, I can.
I'll read the intro, then you hop into the first Eagles story. So the Cowboys return home to AT&T Stadium, where they have lost all 3 games, and 2 of which by large margins. And now they're dealing with even more injuries, as Dak Prescott will miss at least the next 4 games. Cooper Rush takes over the offense against an Eagles team that has won 4 straight in a row. That's what that means. Here are the 10 big storylines for the week, with 5 for the Eagles and 5 for the Cowboys.
The Eagles are trying to keep pace with the Commanders in the NFC East standings and needed a last-second interception Sunday to beat the Jags, 28-23 at home. The Eagles were up 22-0 at one point in the second half before the Jags made a furious rally. The Eagles are a 6-2 and winners of 4 straight. They're also 3-1 on the road this year, which isn't good for us Cowboys.
That would have been nice to have them lose to the Jaguars. That would have been good. Dropping them to only 5 wins would have been super helpful. Bastards. Come on, Jacksonville.
Would have changed my vibe over the last 2 weeks in terms of like the win now. I would have been like, oh, we can suffer another loss.
Yep. It's also one of those things where you look at it. I mean, we just saw the Eagles schedule, and some of their wins, you're like, really, that's a pretty weak win. They're not beating formidable teams. But yet everyone's going to look at the Eagles, a 6-2 powerhouse. If it was the Cowboys reverse, it's like Cowboys can't beat good teams. That's why those 2 losses are there, and their wins are against, pushovers. They're going to lose out for the rest of the season. So hopefully that narrative transfers to the Eagles moving forward here.
Eagles might have changed their center, but the tush push is still alive and well. And Jalen Hurts has 8 rushing touchdowns this year. That's crazy. That's a lot. Second most in the NFL. Hurts is also one of 10 quarterbacks with a quarterback rating over 100, as he ranks 8th at 102.4. So he's not only is he rushing the ball and rushing a lot of those rushes turning into touchdowns, he's throwing with success. So that's scary.
Scary. They're having a good. It shows you what a running back can do to a quarterback. Because, like, no doubt, I wouldn't have been shocked if Hurts had 8 rushing touchdowns this year. But it's the 102 rank QB rating that he has that I'm like, he's not a bad quarterback. I love to hate on him, like we said, and I hate to love him. And it's really it's a messed up trifecta there. But this is a different year, I think, and when we're seeing the effects of Saquon Barkley. Oh, speaking of which. The addition of Saquon Barkley has proved a big jolt to the Eagles' offense, both in the running and passing game. Barkley is one of the craziest highlights you'll ever see in a game last week against the Jaguars, where he pulled down his pants. Oh, I mean, sorry, that was a different video. With his spin backwards leap over defender, and watch Madden's going to add that next year as their big new animation.
And it happens every 10 runs. And you're like, come on, man. It happened once in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
It would be cool if they just added it to Saquon as that X Factor move.
And it happens like 1 in 1,000 times, or 1 in 10,000. So it is super rare, but that's not how Madden
rolls. You've got to have it line up where that whole scenario happens. You got to spin and then spin jump.
Yeah.
But
Sorry, the meme where he jumps over, where Saquon jumps over, and as he's going over, the fart sound goes. Like, yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh,
no.
it's
It was
just
good.
doesn't matter. Fart humor can still be funny.
It is. And but Saquon, he's one of 3 players in the NFL already over the 1,000-yard scrimmage mark. His 1,071 yards are mostly on the ground, 925, but he also has 8 total touchdowns. Dear Lord, this offense is crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, so the Cowboys didn't give up over 200 yards against the Falcons, but the Eagles could put up 200 on the ground against the Cowboys. 100% they could.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Eagles star receiver A.J. Brown is considered day-to-day after suffering a knee injury that forced him to leave Sunday's game against the Jaguars. MRI results revealed more of a bone bruise and no structural damage. Brown has a chance to play this week against the Cowboys, depending on his week of practice. This year, Brown already missed 3 games with a hamstring injury and has 23 catches for 444 yards and 3 touchdowns in the 5 games played. So not the greatest stats, and he's been banged up a little.
And you stole my thing. You threw the vibe off. The Eagles defense ranks.
Did I steal? Did I steal?
You stole it.
Well, let's talk about it.
You stole it, and I wanted to steal. I wanted to steal before you stole mine. No, let's talk about it. Go ahead. Say about Brown.
Well, I didn't want you to jump into this next one.
Yeah, I was just making funny there. But Brown, Brown is probably our very, if Devontae Smith was on the injured or did not practice list, so having him out could possibly help our corners shut down their passing game. But AJ Brown AJ Brown's deadly. Like, there's not much you can do. I think the last few games that we've had to him, one of the games we shut him down fairly well, but then the other game he cooked us, was it not? This was last year. We don't need to go look into it. I was just talking until someone else started talking.
I'm happy to see him off the field. I don't think it's going to help much.
Terry Murray says $2 super chat for CD to start on Sunday because he's on his fantasy football team.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
We're all hoping that.
Yeah,
as long as he's not banged up, get him out there.
Yep.
The Eagles defense ranks 3rd in the NFL in yards allowed, giving up 290 yards per game, and they're one of just 9 teams in the NFL allowing less than 20 points per game at 19.4. On the flip side, the Cowboys offense hasn't scored over 20 points in 4 of the 8 games, and that was with Dakota Prescott at quarterback.
Maybe it's a blessing that Dak's not there. Maybe it'll be a crack him if you got him.
Yeah,
but they say that's with Dak, for those games with Dak. Like, you never know what this offense is going to do with Cooper Rush. But to only have 20 points or less in 4 of your 8 games is a little concerning against a good defense.
Yeah, and I'm not looking for miracles. I'm just looking for something fun. One play to rub in the beak of those shitty Eagles. Cowboys. The biggest news for the Cowboys on Tuesday didn't involve a trade, as the team is preparing to put quarterback Dak Prescott on IR, keeping him out for at least 8 games if they do that. Really? I thought it was 4. Prescott suffered a painful hamstring injury in the 4th quarter against the Falcons and didn't return. That means the team will turn to veteran backup Cooper Rush. Although 3rd quarterback Trey Lance will now jump to number 2 and could be used in certain situations.
Well, yeah. If Trey Lance is number 3 on the depth chart, then obviously he moves up to number 2.
Yeah, but hey, remember I doubled down and said you weren't going to even see his name?
Guess who's wrong?
Trey Lance. I guess who's wrong?
Fresh quarterback.
I do want to.
I do want to see him too. Now's the time. Now is the absolute time in these games to get Trey Lance in there, so you at least know what the F you had. And I'd be very disappointed if we don't see Trey Lance come in and take some of those reps over the next 8 games, 4 games, or whenever Dak Prescott's gone. Because then why did we even make that trade? Like, you're not even going to try him out, and you're not going to just say, hey, let's release him. So I want to see some Trey Lance action in there just so we can shut up that what if rumor. We don't want that Marvel Universe rumor of what if Trey Lance played.
This would be the ultimate if Mike McCarthy schemes like this fucking 350-yard game for Trey Lance, and he just goes off, and it's like, whoa, what the hell is this? I don't want to see that. I do want to see it, obviously, just because it would be fun to watch. But
And gives us something to talk about.
Let's give us something
to talk about. Okay, and so that we're now on the new train. You're up next.
Although Cowboys owner GM Jerry Jones said last Sunday expecting the team to make multiple moves before the trade deadlines, the Cowboys only acquired Jonathan Mingo in a trade with the Panthers. Mingo, a second-round pick, 39th overall last year, has yet to make a big splash with 0 TD catches so far in the NFL career. The Cowboys gave up a 4th-round pick in 2025 and also got a 7th-round pick in return. So that's one thing we didn't talk about. They also got a 7th-round pick, but you're not finding a whole lot of talent in the 7th round. So it's kind of just like
you're dumpster diving
a little bit, but not much. You're dumpster diving.
The only benefit is you could pair that 7th round with the 5th and get a 4th round. But either way, you're losing a pick with the trade. Another thing I didn't know he hasn't had an NFL career touchdown. Let's go get him that on Sunday.
Let's get him that on Sunday.
Do you think he plays?
No.
Do you think he plays Sunday?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I'd like him to. Get him out there for some simple routes.
Okay, playing the what if, I was going to bring this up when we were talking about the Mingo trade earlier on, and I completely forgot about it until now. What if they what if they would have traded? So we get who's the dude that got benched on? Who's the quarterback that Panthers had that they drafted 1st round? Bryce Young. So we get Bryce Young and Jonathan Mingo for Trey Lance and 4th round. So Trey goes to them. We get Bryce Young as this other quarterback. Like,
I'd rather see Bryce Young, yeah, in the Cowboys uniform, see what he can do on the Cowboys. He's at least got more capital, I think, right now than Trey Lance for the boys because we haven't seen him and he's been on the team the whole time.
And there's a couple of other years on his belt. But yeah, we should have did something like that. Get rid of Trey Lance. I'm sure nobody wants Trey Lance. They probably tried to do that, but
no one's taking Trey Lance's contract.
Yeah, except for the Cowboys. The Cowboys are hopeful to have some injured players back on the field this week, most notably Micah Parsons, who hasn't played since late September with a high ankle sprain. Duron Bland, blah, 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 not so bland, blah, blah, bland, could also make his season debut with the foot injury he sustained back in August. Also, Cedarius Lamb is expected to play despite a shoulder injury. Like, why? Just sit. Despite a shoulder injury, and Ezekiel Elliott, who is held back from making the trip to Atlanta for disciplinary reasons, is expected to play this week. Ugh.
Just keep him off.
But I think if CeeDee Lamb can play and he's not threatening to hurt it, like if it's just pain, why sit him though? Realistically, what's the if he's not hurt, if he can play through it, why sit him now?
Go out and get 150 yards with Lamb. Like, let's try to smash the 2,000-yard mark this season.
Like, I want them to beat the Eagles still. Okay. So unless he's hurt.
Okay.
No, if he's hurt,
play. As far as I'm concerned,
I thought we were going to see Footstuff Falco and the rest of the replacements this Sunday against the Eagles, and then I have something really to fight for.
Well, if CeeDee doesn't play, then yeah, Mingo is playing. They're throwing him in there with a fucking towel on still. He hasn't finished his shower. But the only thing that I would say is if there's any sort of ligament damage or something, then it's like let that rest. But if it's just soreness and pain, get him on the field. He's a warrior.
Well, I mean, if you had Dalvin Cook, and again, possibly it's a little bit harder for a running back because maybe you have different blocking assignments and stuff, and you're maybe expecting more. So Dalvin Cook wasn't ready to come in or get elevated from the practice squad. Getting Jonathan Mingo,
he's been playing though. He's been playing football. Yeah,
but he's been playing football, but he still doesn't know the playbook. I mean, I wonder how fast
run up to 10 yards. Like how many how many routes are there, right? It's just, you'd have to, that's 9. What I'm saying. Put him out there for things where it's really simple for what he's got to do.
For sure. So yeah, you could have him coming in and he
maybe
could
not
say,
the whole game.
Hey, Jonathan, we're only going to get you to come in on comeback routes, or we're going to get you to run down the seam on the sidelines on these plays.
Wide receivers I've seen more often than any other player being traded and then getting out there on the next game and playing.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he plays with Kansas City, he gets his touchdown. Like,
I think he got 2.
Yep. Maybe.
Is this yours or mine?
Maybe not.
I think it's you.
Okay. Slow starts have plagued this team all season long. The Cowboys are getting outscored in the first quarter, 54-29, and the third quarter, 68-21. 21 of those points coming from. Crack him if you got him.
Drip. 21 of those points coming from Drip.
Coming from, who was it? 49ers. by a combined 122-51 to come out of the locker room. So coming out in the first quarter and the third quarter, they are being spanked 122 points to 51 points.
Which is concerning because those should be the 2 quarters that you're most prepared for. The one at the start of the game and then the one after halftime.
We see
so it's like they don't make adjustments or they're just not prepared. Which is scary.
Well, the slow start, I'm used to with these boys of the last 4 or 5 seasons because they always I don't know, I might just only be remembering these games, but it feels like they almost always come out and have a slow first drive. Sometimes maybe it's not a 3 and out, but it feels like it's just as equivalent, right? And they end up punting, and then they start playing football. The slow start out of the second half is really concerning, though, because by that time, it's like usually the Cowboys are up to speed, and that's where they're playing catch-up ball, not losing a game in the third and then trying to catch it up what they had, the lead that they had in the whole first quarter or first half, sorry, and trying to catch that up in the fourth. So it's not a good recipe for a victory.
No, and even if they don't go 3 and out at the start of the game, they get 3 points and then don't score again for the first quarter. So the slow starts, we've noticed it, we've talked about it, and then I think just lately the third quarter has been a kind of a trend, but definitely the first half has felt slow. The Cowboys added a player via trade on Tuesday, but also cut 2 players they traded for back in August. Cornerback Andrew Booth was released along with defensive tackle Jordan Ad's best man Phillips.
Well, I am sad to see Andrew Wilkes Booth leave. I just like the name. And Jordan Phillips, I mean, we have like 15 other defensive tackles we've signed this season. So,
and we weren't even convinced he was on the team ever.
Yeah, I know. Remember, you guys didn't even believe in Phillips.
Well, now it's confirmed.
Now it's
Since
confirmed.
He's been cut.
Well, I mean,
no, he was on.
And
the
I
team.
think possibly because of how he slapped the hand that was feeding him, they probably wanted to cut his ass. Get the fuck out of here, Phillips.
What did you do?
Well, wasn't he the one that he said, well, I don't know, I'm not actually injured. They just put me on IR.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
So now the Cowboys are like cutting his ass. See you later, alligator.
He's like, I don't know why you're cutting me. I don't know why you're cutting me. I wasn't even on the team.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't even on the team. How are you cutting me?
I just have a membership to this locker room. That's
yeah.
Well, guys, that's the 10 storylines. And you know what? I have to give an applause there to Eat Me Out. He made 10 stories out of nothing, and you were right, Anth. A lot of it had to do with injuries, but he did stretch it out in different ways.
Yeah, they were good. He did it good.
He bat-winged it.
And he talked about my boy Trey Lance.
Oh, he did.
He did.
Once.
Yeah. Hey, Ant, since you're out of office, you have to start with your score prediction there, kiddo. What's your score?
38-21 Cowboys.
There we are. Okay. I thought for a second
speaking of delusional, let's go 38.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm changing it because I think I've picked 30s every time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go 27-24 Cowboys.
Okay, that's fair. Yep, I got it. 27.
After they were just talking about them barely being able to score 20 points, I almost doubled what they get. I'm not going that. I'm going 27-24 Cowboys.
Okay. I'll go. Do you want to go?
Yeah, I want to go.
Okay.
Because I had to do some quick math on my hands here. Like, okay. 23-19 Cowboys. I think it's still going to be an exciting game. I just don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
And I'm just playing this as
checkers or chess.
Well, here's the thing. No, I'm just going to go. I'm going to let you guys help me out here.
You're not going to go
Is that
Philly,
okay?
though. You're not going to go Philly, though.
No, I just feel like Cowboys are not going to score more than 20, so I want to go 2017. But then I also think
which you've done that a couple
Eagles
times.
are going to score at least 3 touchdowns. So then I need Cowboys 24-21.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, do that one then.
I feel more confident with 20. I do feel more confident with this, actually. Okay.
Possible 1980 in the chat goes 31-18 Eagles, 6 field goals for Aubrey. And you know what?
That's probably the most realistic.
That's probably the most
score prediction that was
realistic score prediction.
Hey, possibly keep that highlighted because if you get it, you will win a Can Fan shirt.
And I
if
think
that's the
Philly
actual
Sucks
score.
t-shirt.
I think possibly 1980 is an Eagles fan, so you get a Philly Sucks shirt.
Oh, of course he's a Philly fan.
You get to choose
I can
one, and then
smell
we
the bird from here.
Yeah, you'll choose a shirt, and then we'll also choose a shirt for you. Okay, let's reverse order.
Yeah.
Boldy predictions.
Okay.
I mean, I gotta just do it, and I hope this doesn't take away from your guys's. I think we're gonna see a Mingo touchdown as well as a Rico Dowdle touchdown. Both get their first touchdowns of the season.
Well,
Mingo is first of his career.
Rico Dowdle got a touchdown last week.
Yeah, rushing touchdown.
Not a rushing touchdown.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it has to be a rushing
Rico
touchdown.
Dowdle hasn't got a rushing touchdown?
No, I know.
Fuck Cowboys, you suck dick.
Yep. Big ol' enormous ones.
So that's a rushing touchdown for Rico. Mingo can get. Mingo's got to get a receiving touchdown.
Mingo gets. So your bold prediction. Mingo gets
Yeah, if Mingo got a rushing touchdown and then Dowdle got a receiving touchdown, we'll still give it to you if that happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I am betting the flip. I'm betting the flip. Yeah.
Okay. My bold prediction is going to be the same it's been every single week. Brandon Aubrey is getting that fucking record.
No.
You're calling it?
Yeah, you can't just continually say the same thing.
But why can't I?
Because we came up with this rule when we first started this.
That I can't say
4 years ago.
That I can't say the same thing every single time?
Now you're just playing.
Okay,
you know you can't just keep saying Micah Parsons 2 sacks. Micah Parsons 2 sacks.
I was kind of close to that though. Okay, fine. That by bold prediction.
I hope Aubrey hits it now.
Yeah. Okay. So
quit wasting it every week then.
I'm not wasting it because I do feel that.
Can you parlay it? Can you parlay it with something? No.
Okay.
It can't be.
So here's my bold prediction.
He could parlay. I would say that should be fine.
Micah Parsons plays and he gets 3 sacks.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
Cooper Rush. What was my score prediction?
And Brandon Aubrey breaks the record. And Brandon Aubrey breaks the record. Okay.
What was my score? 27?
Dude.
So I wanted to go with it.
27-24.
Okay. So
I know you like to pair.
Miss,
hey, bro, I'm the same way as you. I like to pair my boldies with my my score predictions.
Cooper Rush 4 passing touchdowns.
Wow.
Ooh, I like that one.
What's that based off of? I don't know. I don't even know if he's ever even came. I think he only has 5 touchdown passes in his career.
Well, when we looked at his score from the last time he had this 4-run start, he had I don't think he got higher. I think he was just breaching 20 for points. The Cowboys were breaching 20 points. I don't think he's thrown anything higher than 2.
Well, buckle up.
So you
buckle up, bitch.
Just real quick, just because I like to make all of ours make sense. Yours can make sense, but you.
He misses a point after.
Or they go for 2 and miss.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't want to add. I didn't want to say that as I was saying it because I didn't want it to be lopped into my 4 touchdown passes.
Hey, no. You don't. That's your score prediction and your 4 they don't have to lock in step. But you were just mentioning that, so I wanted to.
Possibly 1980 has a great bold prediction, and his bold prediction is Mingo throws a Philly special to Cooper Rush against the Eagles.
I mean.
Cooper Rush.
Possibly 1980 comes in here with 2 nice. I hope come join us for the game on Sunday, because I want to.
It's not the Philly special though; it's the Coopingo special.
Oh, the Coopingo!
It's the Mingo Ringo Coop Rush special.
Coopingo!
It's the Rush Hour special.
Ads has a little bit more can fan flair to it.
Yeah,
I like Coopingo.
Coopingo.
It's got that urban or that worldly flair.
Well, we're going to be saying if Coop Rush throws a tud or a successful throw to Mingo, it's going to be Capingo, Capingo, baby. Well, hey, boys, we did it. It's Eagles week. Doesn't matter if QB1's out. Doesn't matter if our season's tank. You got to go out there as a Cowboys fan, and you got to look any of those stinking Eagle fans in the eyes, in the face, and you tell them to go fuck themselves. We'll see you Sunday, baby, back when we're doing live play-by-plays. Oh!
Philly sucks.
Philly sucks. Philly sucks. Philly sucks. Philly sucks. Yeah, peace. Peace.